The house on Marrow Lane had no number. It had a mailbox, rusted and yawning. It had a door, swollen with damp, but where a brass number should have been. There were only 4 darker rectangles on the wood, as if something had been pried away. When Daniel first saw it, he laughed. Probably teenagers, he muttered, adjusting the strap of his duffel bag. The rental listing had called it quaint. The town of Briar Hollow had called it available. And Daniel, desperate for quiet after the divorce, had called it perfect. The key turned too easily. Inside, the air felt layered, not dusty layered, as though every breath he took had already been breathed by someone else. The house was narrow and deep, with a staircase that leaned slightly to the left. The walls were covered in a faded floral wallpaper that seemed to shift in the corner of his eye. He blamed the long drive. He did not notice at first that there were no mirrors. There were frames where mirrors should have bent over the fireplace. In the hallway, in the bathroom, empty rectangles, bare hooks. He only realized it when he went to wash his hands and found himself staring at a blank patch of wall. He murmured. That's unsettling. The laugh he gave himself sounded borrowed. The first night he dreamed of knocking. Slow, deliberate knocking, not at the door, from inside the walls. He woke at 3:17 a.m. to the same sound. Knock, knock, knock. It traveled left wall, right wall above him, as though something were moving through the bones of the house, mapping it. Rats, he whispered. The knocking stopped. Relief came too quickly. Then, from directly behind his headboard, knock, knock, KN. He spun, throwing the lamp on. Silence. But the wallpaper behind his bed had begun to peel, just a little, curling outward like a fingernail lifting from skin. The second day he tried to leave. Not because he believed anything was wrong, he told himself that several times, but because the house felt attentive. He packed his bag, walked to the front door. It opened onto a hallway, not the porch. A long, narrow hallway papered in the same faded flowers. Daniel blinked. He stepped back inside, closed the door, opened it again. Hallway. The air inside it was darker, thicker. At the far end stood a mirror. He hadn't seen a mirror in the house before. It was tall and freestanding, its glass clouded and old. And though he stood in the doorway staring straight at it, he had no reflection. His stomach folded in on itself. Slowly, carefully, he raised his hand. The mirror remained empty. Then, something moved in it.